What's up, YouTube? I'm here today to bring you something that pops into your feed every year, just like a doctor's finger in your prostate. I'm talking about a Destiny 2 review. The game that has died and come back to life more times than Krillin. Is the game bad? Is the game good? Did they fix the game? Every so-called gamer out there has had an opinion on this, whether it is on YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, sometimes with valid criticisms and other times seemingly milking this topic to death. Well, I'm here today to roll up my sleeves and give one good hard tug on those udders because I want to leave you with the definitive review of the game that I think will apply regardless of the expansion. I will do this by looking at what I think are the two main components, looting and shooting, to help you decide if this game is worth trying. That is the sound of one of the rarest items in the game, an exotic. These are the main items you will be chasing as a new player. These strong weapons and armor are build defining, allowing you to either play in a way that would be previously ineffective or enhancing your ability/power incredibly from where you start off. As someone who has filled out most of their collections/vault, this is in my opinion where the looting part of the game is at its peak. It is extremely rewarding for a new player to have a new exotic drop, especially once you start understanding the pivotal role in builds that some of these allow. Slowly but surely, you will eventually find all of the pieces you need, all the exact stat rolls, and this is where you will understand the main complaint that players have had, time and time again, which is that the chase for loot will feel like it does not matter. You will hear the sound and feel absolutely nothing. When the only tangible difference becomes a +1 or 2 stat increase, the excitement from finding these is not as high of a peak as it once was. To Bungie's credit, and a subject that is up for debate, is that this has been somewhat fixed with the new tier system, as tier 4s and 5s have such substantial increases in stats and even additional perks that truly make these stand out in a way that non-exotic loot has not been able to in a long time. Like most things in Destiny though, the only constant thing is that things will eventually change. There have been a few overhauls to the loot system prior in order to address the loot chase issue, such as the addition of crafting. But eventually this problem of having everything and the time that it takes to get it, whether too long or too short, becomes a problem for Bungie and the players to contend with. But the one constant, and I think the most important part of the game and this video, is the shooting. The fact that Bungie was able to catch lightning in a bottle not once but with 2 game franchises is an accomplishment in its own right. I will die on the hill that Destiny 2's gunplay and game feel have yet to really be matched by any other game. It could be biased from Halo comprising a majority of my time during high school, but there is a certain sense of satisfaction that comes from many of the guns in this game that I can't replicate in most, if not all, other shooters. Let me show you.
That's why we have fire teams. You make that look easy, Warlock. You have zone advantage.
Although the game has always had issues with bugs, balance, and repetitive content, the smoothness and the feel of the game has always brought me back, whether it is just for one season or the whole expansion. For all of its missteps, this is in my opinion the main redeeming quality of the game, and if you also latch on to this aspect, I think you will come to the same conclusion as me, where it has become somewhat of a comfort game for me to jump in and out of whenever I get the urge to play a looter shooter. To expand the conversation and to address some of the questions you might have about multiplayer, the dungeons, raids, and clans, I have intentionally left these out of the review as I am a largely solo player who was still able to accomplish most of what I wanted through LFG or random groups, which Bungie has recently added and has made finding a group easier than it has ever been. From a fundamental level, I feel that if you enjoy the base gameplay, you will more than likely end up doing group/endgame content. But at the same time, I want to address some things that I think will be deal breakers, such as, if you are completely opposed to cooperative play but are a collector, you will be completely barred from getting certain items because group play will be required. If you constantly require new content, you will also be disappointed because this game has gone through long droughts of either recycled or repetitive content. If you have expectations of it to be an MMO, you will be disappointed, as many of the staple features, such as trade or player housing, have yet to be in the game. Speaking for myself, I became way more satisfied with the game when I let go of what I wanted the game to be and instead accepted it for what it is, a solid looter shooter with MMO-like mechanics. Lastly, if you care about story or are against looking things up outside of the game, you will also be disappointed, because the onboarding system for new players does little to catch you up on the story, and overall the game can be very ambiguous with certain quests and objectives, which is why there is a thriving community of Destiny content creators who have done an amazing job to address this issue by providing guides and walkthroughs. In conclusion, if you are looking for one of the best feeling first-person shooters with loot mechanics, I think you should try the game, as you can play enough of it as a free-to-play player to make a determination if the gameplay is something you enjoy. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing.